Hey guys, today I'm going to talk about Zeusing. Now, there are a ton of guides on YouTube on how to Zeus, how to do this, how to do that, what this does, what that does, but I'm going to be talking about the actual role and responsibilities of a Zeus. So basically the whole concept behind Zeusing. Okay? Um, don't think of Zeus don't think of Zeusing as having the role of fighting against the players. All right. The balance you should be trying to find is between boredom and frustration. Your job isn't to kill the players. Instead, your job is to build a scenario that the players can fight their way through, using your powers as Zeus to make the AI behave more intelligently. All right. The overall goal isn't to increase the difficulty, but to increase the tension. When I Zeus, I go by a few rules. All right, there's four main ones. Let the players be players. Balance, flexibility, and immersion. The first one is your number one priority as a Zeus is the entertainment of others. Okay, the worst thing that will make players leave are boredom and impossible objectives, and being forced to play a certain way with no choice or freedom to react. Okay? Let them decide how to approach an objective and give them an epic mission in return. Provide players an alternative. Without a choice, you can't gather information. Building choices into missions makes for a very more immersive and enjoyable experience for all. All right. Balance. Now, it's overkill to throw 15 squads or fire teams at a couple of players on the word go, even if they're expecting it. All right, it goes back to those defense ops where you just sit there and you just get pummeled with, you know, tons of enemy forces and rockets and bullets flying over your head. Right? Nobody really likes that. Okay, work them up to a full assault, then tie thin. Move the action forward as your players push out and eliminating the enemy. Okay, having 15 squads thrown in at once is just as bad as having a full-blown assault in one wave. All right. Same thing with remote controlling the AI. Remote controlling the AI should only be used to create an impression of a smart enemy, not to dominate the players or just to feel some sadistic enjoyment that you might have by killing that one guy that, offended you. As a Zeus, remember it's not you against the players. You are not trying to win as the opposing force. You're there to build a memorable event, right? Build up and taper off the action. War is short, moments of sheer terror interspersed with long periods of boredom, meaning don't go 100% all the time, and don't go 10% all the time. Find the balance in between boredom and tension. A good Zeus, all right, knows how to balance a mission, no matter the assets or tactics used against him or her. Be flexible, okay? Have a plan. The most well-laid plan always disintegrates at first contact with the enemy. And that includes your plans, not just the players, but yours as well. If you don't have a plan of what's what, you'll start to fumble around, right? Chaos will ensue. Your player base will sometimes get bored, and that epic experience that you had thought about in your head will completely escape you. It goes back to letting the players play, right? Freedom. You don't have to be a mute Zeus, right? You can talk to the players, you can figure out what they want to do, and go hog wild while making them have fun. If your plans change mid assault, let them. Improvise, okay? Improvise is a key thing for any Zeus, and learning how to do that is imperative to Zeusing. This will lead into reacting, okay? Some of the players might not do what you expect. They don't go into a building you prepped with intel and decorations and fancy furniture and all that stuff, right? Um, or they bypass a large enemy force you have prepped for them, right? Or, let's say you prepped some sort of ambush, but they got smart and, went around them. If all this stuff is happening, it usually means that you, the Zeus, didn't set up the objectives clearly. Alright? Not necessarily all the time, right? It could just be your players just being real smart. Um, but usually, if players don't do what you want, try and give them more precise hints, like redirect them with a random patrol. A lot of people like using mortar fire and all this stuff. It's good in some scenarios and not so good in others, right? It's just finding that balance. There's that word again, balance. When to do something and when not to do something. Okay. As a Zeus, you need to learn to improvise to what the players are doing. If you have a certain objective and all of a sudden there's going to be a 2 kilometer walk, and you know for a fact that nobody likes to be a walking simulator, well, put a patrol in their path. Do something. Let them see a enemy convoy driving away towards their objective, right, or away from their objective. Drop some freaking goats in their way, right? Put a random civilian. Make it immersive, right? Don't just let it be a walking simulator. Which goes into the next key, keep it immersive. A great Zeus game is, it's almost like a written story. Okay, and in a written story, you rarely see the author talking with the characters. Well, what does that mean? Don't interact with players as a Zeus. Okay, it ruins the immersion for everyone. Speak as different characters or roles. Talk to the characters through NPCs. Start every phrase with something, for example, ground team, this is base plate. Or just don't talk at all, right? In most missions, if the tasks and objectives are clear, then normally that's going to be enough. Having a player not doing what you intend for them is not a reason to ruin the immersion, but a good chance to add to it. The next part, optimization. We established earlier that a Zeus can pretty much do anything he wants. Okay, after a long mission, players can end up leaving a long trail of corpses and destruction. The more this piles up, right, the bigger the frame drops can get. With explosions happening and grenades going off, bullets flying, it puts pressure on any server, puts pressure on any PC, no matter how good or great. So remember, you're in charge of optimization as well. If players leave an area which you don't expect them to return to, just delete everything in it. If, for instance, you think they might be a couple vehicles they might come back, leave those alone, right? Keep it optimized. So those are pretty well the key concepts of Zeusing, right? Remember, Zeus is a creator of content, an artist of sorts, trying to paint a picture for an audience, and that audience is your player base. If the player base had fun and enjoyed your op, then you were successful in creating that picture. At the end, all that matters is that you and your players had fun. Doing so, you created a memorable event that they would want to experience again and again, always coming back for more. As long as you try your best and seek to improve, you can't go wrong. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.